Hello, hello. Welcome to Penny for a Tale. As we are streaming for the last time until this Sunday for Pathfinder. But next week I will be at Origins. So I'm excited about that. If any of you guys are there, feel free to check me out. I'll be selling the Genesis books. If you don't know what that is, we'll talk later. It's an amazing game. Regardless, we have an awesome show set up for you guys tonight. We are playing First Kings, which has just finished its Kickstarter run. It's an Italian-made game concerning the first knights of Rome, and that's Nights, not Kni. Um, so these people are actually part of the Cerberus Legion, and will be protecting Rome from the various evil entities that are out. Before we get to know some of our players as they struggle in different fashions, want to give a shout out for Mr. Smith for providing me this Italian game straight from Italy. I am not gonna attempt to pronounce it, but you guys can see it right there. It is my hope to at least get it translated so that we can play it here on the stream. So that'll be fun. Thank you, Mr. Smith. This is awesome. We love you a lot. Penny for a Tale loves you a lot. So super excited about this. So yeah, let's have everyone introduce themselves, starting with Malia.
Hi, I'm Malia. Technically I have a Twitch. Haven't done shit with it yet. I say for the third time this week. So I show up here a lot. That's basically it until I set it up.
Okay. Hi. I'm Jen. I am Savage Sparrow on all the social medias and things. I am also on Twitch as Savage Sparrow, and I show up here frequently. I run SavageSparrow.com, which is a really cool, nerdy t-shirt clothing site. So you should check that out to dick yourself out. Yeah.
I'm Ian. I do Hell's Rebels on this channel on Sunday nights. And that's Pathfinder.
Woo!
That's me. That's all I do.
You did it.
Almost literally.
You did the thing, though, which is really all that matters. All right. So to start us off, we're gonna get into some backstory, and this is something you guys would know as well, as you guys are kind of situated in Rome. So during a night in which black clouds obscured the moon and did not allow the gods to see through the rustic villa of Gens Vorone, it is suddenly taken by storm. Its patrician members, slaves, and even some guests are hunted one by one like beasts. The group of attackers, unknown, had waited for the darkness to fall. Isolated, although a few miles from the sacred walls of Rome, to then crawl unobserved and silent toward the Domus and bring to its inhabitants an unspeakable bloody carnage. The flames that finally devoured the villa were the belated warning of the crime to the soldiers who patrolled the walls of Rome in the distance. The gens Vorone, already put to the test by the Battle of Fidenae and other unfortunate events, risked extinction that night. But Curienus did not abandon his beloved sons altogether. Nevia, the now aged elder sister of the Pater family Verone, has miraculously escaped the massacre, managing to rescue even the young niece Calpurnia. The old woman and the child are the only two survivors of gens Vorone. One the past and the other the future. One the memory and the other the future of the Romulan lineage. Many of the Pater familias, shaking their heads heavily, read in the terrible event the manifestation of the disappointment and anger of Mars for the conduct that the king is carrying out with his insane war on the sacred White City. King Tullus Hostilius, to appease the souls, but above all, to succeed in breaking the defenses of Alba Longa in the greatest victory of all times, thought by pleasing his patricians and the gods that they fear angry, sending to Rome the express order of the young men to gather for the Red March, which is a sacred ritual march for Mars. So that is kind of the backstory where we are right now. Everything is ready. The preparations are nearing completion, and only one cycle of the sun is missing for the march to start. The Lupercore Aquilianus tried in every way to make the king reason, sending the Goshak messenger several times. But he is adamant about not coming. Instead, has appointed Inopia Augustus, first Flemens Martialis, to take his place and close the matter. You are the Cerberus Legion, the ones remaining who will be protecting the young men and women as they make their march to the Temple of Mars to give thanks and sacrifice in hopes that they will be able to conquer Alba Longa. That is your sacred duty. And yeah, as a note, every member of the Cerberus Legion has the Tears of Vesta, which is this liquid concoction composed of the Vestals of the Lupercal Exquilianus. Once the container is broken, it goes into auto combustion, blowing you up to prevent the Reman from eating you and taking your soul. So,
Wow.
Okay.
Cool.
So we begin in a small village just outside of the Roman walls as people are gathering to prepare for this march. You are already present at the meeting that precedes the Red March. The Vocator loudly reads the message sent by the king, who remained in Alba Longa. To you all men of noble heart and Roman courage, do not lose faith in God and in the choices of your king, Tullus Hostilius. Never has Rome been so great, so vigorous and full of the overwhelming will of Mars Gradivus. We are about to experience a moment that will enter into the songs of the Aedi, and each of you will be able to enjoy in giving your personal contribution. Honor Rome, but above all, honor Mars with this Red March. I will not be able to officiate the advent of the young Romans, and this is a cause for disturbance in the mind of many of you. However, good wishes for profound excuses have already been officiated, and the gods are smiling to Rome. I, Tullius Hostilius Rex, Pontifex Maximus, and delegate with honor, Ateus Inopia Augustus, first Flammes Martialis, to carry out my duties in this sacred march. Young Romans, now I turn to you. Tomorrow be as brave as the heroes who forged Rome and balanced like Palatine Hill. Tomorrow march for Rome, for the gods, for yourselves, and for your gens, and for all of us who fight and die in the name of Roman glory and prosperity. Thanks to the sacred march you will perform, Alba Longa will fall at sunset. This individual wraps up the note from the king and heads out as the crowd kind of bursts into smaller conversations concerning the news. So let's kind of zoom in on each one of you guys, kind of say who you are, descriptions, etc. So we'll start with Malia.
Oh, that's me. Hi.
Hi.
I'm playing Tora. It's like a younger woman with like it says a mature appearance and like a dark face with sharp browns. I'm imagining bitch face constantly. It's like very few times she's not in bitch face mode. She has very short red hair and a lighter skin tone, and is wearing like a red vestal dress with a openly showing a medallion with the symbol of Mars. Yeah, she's a priestess, and she's probably either doing like I can't even talk. Priestess duties, or just probably at home getting ready because we have to go do that thing. Very good description. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So Helena is has black hair that's tied back. She oh my god. She has an impressive strong body for being a woman. Young face, firm and proud expression, but clearly too boyish and not beautiful at all for most Romans' likes, which is something she totally doesn't have conflicted feelings about, and will definitely not be a thing that comes up later. Nope.
It's okay.
Okay, well, so real quick, is it daytime or nighttime?
It is the afternoon.
It is afternoon. Okay. So I will say that Epsy is a fully grown wolf. And real quick, so if we're the Cerberus Legion, what would their opinion of me be? Am I still keeping this kind of clandestine?
Yeah, so all
What I have going on?
Yeah, all of the Cerberus Legion, the was it the Versipelles or something like that. Those the lineage of Romulus. You guys all must keep your powers and your abilities secret, because Rome kind of attributes every like werewolf attack and monster to Remus. There was a recent battle, and it's one that was mentioned earlier in kind of the description. Let's see if that battle is here. Yeah, Fidenae. Fidenae was a time when Rome went to fight against the northern regions, and they were about to lose, but the king ordered the Cerberus Legion to kind of unload. Which then they all, turned into their wolves and stuff like that and just ripped the enemy apart. But many
Right.
of your kind was destroyed during that battle, so there's not much of you left. But Rome, the people of Rome still don't know what exactly happened and are very confused that werewolves and creatures defended them and destroyed the other people.
Okay. So how many of us are there? More than just the three of us?
Yes. So in total, there's probably about 15 of you, sent, including yourself, sent to protect this march. But yeah, there was a lot more earlier, but sadly, many of your kin perished in that fight.
The question I had, Mitchell, is that it kind of indicates that there's like, some sort of like gender bias and stuff like that with like, specifically for this character of being the soldier type, but not being allowed to. So my question is like, is this a thing where she is accepted as like being, even if it's begrudgingly as being in this guard duty soldiery thing, or is it like I want to be where the boys are?
So my personal taste in terms of like gender issues in historical games is I don't bring that up. And that's my personal thing.
Sure.
So we'll just say in this context, there is no sexism, everyone's equal. But there's still probably that like that issue of maybe you weren't like a warrior in the past or something like that. So whatever you kind of want to bring in terms of the conflict or any sort of like begrudgingness against your character, that's cool.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, so in that case, it doesn't sound like Epsy needs to buddy up with anybody yet necessarily. So he will be. If there are any other in the Cerberus Legion, if there are any other, you said it was like what, like around 15. If there's anybody else in this permanent wolf form, he would be probably scavenging with them.
Excellent. So you guys can't go too far off because there have been a lot of like rumors
Yeah.
about the Remans have been pushing against Rome, especially now that Rome is doing battle against their neighbor after just surviving a fight from their northern neighbors. So things are very like tense. So you guys can't go too far out, but you are able to kind of start scavenging and stuff like that. As well. Later in the afternoon, the Cerberus Legion is gathered to kind of talk about their specific tasks and your specific duties. This is a time where you're not expected to talk about who you are, because there will be some people outside of the Legion. But so just keep that in mind.
Okay.
So an individual, it's not really like organized, but there's some other Romulans who are kind of taking the lead of sorts. But in the end, they explain that it is primarily up to you three to guard the rear section of the line as people start moving about. For the people that you guys are in command of, you have 8 Scipiones, which are these large men who generally guard the road. 2 Custores, who are another form of militia, and then 6 Milites, who are the more capable of them. So in total, you three have 16 people under your command to kind of defend the rear guard. But you have a day to kind of wander, get to know your people, or maybe even seek other people out to join. People have been gathering in this area for a couple days now for the march. You see young people carrying red cloaks as they're expected to wear these long robes in preparation for this march and during it. There is also the remaining members of the Jinns, which are part of your family, just separated, who survived the attack the other night that I described earlier, who are also in the area.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll find Tora
Yeah.
kind of right
I-
off the bat.
I would not. I would always basically be shadowing Tora for the most part.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing right now? If I approach you.
I feel like, well, maybe not immediately, but at least before we go, she would want to familiarize herself with the other people that are going to be protecting the rear. She needs to know like who she finds the most capable, because I think she's going to put herself into a leadership role with this. She
Yep.
wants to be able to make sure that we can do our job successfully.
Yeah.
But before that, she might, go get some stuff ready at her home. Maybe go pray or something. I don't know. It's up to you where you want to find her.
Okay. Let me think.
All
Okay,
right,
Mr.
so-
Master of Ceremonies, real quick. Animals. Are there any? What are the like small animals that one might find in the area?
So you probably have like squirrels.
A squirrel.
squirrels, raccoons,
Okay.
dogs, and such like that. Also, the leader, Malia, of the group, like the one that you see the most capable of kind of representing them, is a individual named Lydia.
Lydia.
And we'll thank
Lydia.
the Taco Cat for that name.
Beautiful name.
Love you, Alex.
Love you, Alex.
Ramen
Okay,
names.
so I would like to. I don't know if I'm jumping the gun, but I would like to hunt something
Hunt
for sport.
people.
The most
Uh,
dangerous game.
I'm hunting boredom.
Did you guys want to do that together, or are you just gonna let the wolf go?
Well, this isn't high stakes. I'm just trying to kill like basically like a
You just-
squirrel even.
Yeah, you wanna feel the life drain out of something.
And
And
thus
just
this.
taste
Yes.
it. Taste it as it dies.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And thus
That's
this
a one
epic,
player game.
this
fine.
epic battle between you and this squirrel.
The squirrel wins.
Wobble.
Oh,
Okay, well let's see.
All right, so this is a good time to kind of get
Yeah.
familiar with the mechanics of the game. First Kings is very narrative. You rarely roll dice. Everyone has these zodiac signs that are that represent different aspects of a character. So like Tauros is strength, power, physical prowess. Aries is like willpower, resistance, physical endurance. Pisces is agile and fast, etc. When you want to accomplish something, I give a DC based on how you are approaching it. If you have enough points in the relevant zodiac based on how you described it, you're good. You succeed. You gain narrative control. You describe what happens. I don't do much. If you ever come to a point where the number required is greater than what you have two options. You can either change your approach, and that allows you to add more zodiac symbols to your pool, or you can roll dice to try to temporarily add to your zodiac symbols. But either way, if you succeed, you have narrative control. You tell me what happens. I don't do anything. It's only if you fail that I'll jump in and tell you how fucked you are.
All right,
Okay.
so kill a squirrel.
All right,
got?
how are you doing it? Are you like a wise hunter? Are you following the tracks? Or are you just like running through the forest like?
Whole
Well,
figure squirrel
um,
shows up.
a wolf at midday is not anything like a cat at. So what?
My camera just almost fell over and I just caught it with my
Ah,
hand.
So
Sorry.
probably going to outrun it. Hope it climbs a tree, and then I have enough time to just make a leap for it.
All right, you're gonna want to outrun it. So that sounds like Pisces, agile, fast.
Yep.
So
Yep,
it's
because I know I can't sneak up on
yeah,
it.
it's a squirrel. So it's DC 1 or TN, however they call it. So a 1.
Okay.
What do you have in Pisces?
So in Pisces, I happen to have I have Pisces 2.
Excellent. All right, so you let me know what happens. You've successfully done it.
Okay, yeah, I chase it. It gets about almost out of range for me, but I leap onto the tree and I have it in my jaw. So that's the end of that. The next thing I'll do is I'll go to my not friend Tora, and I'll drop this thing at her feet.
Seems he has presented you with an offering.
Why?
um,
And then my telepathy works as long as you're paying attention to me. So I don't know if we've spoken before, if you know that, but it's like,
I would imagine we have, because we're not in a big city, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to phrase it. I just need
Start saying words.
Yeah. I want you to dress me for battle using the blood.
Okay. So you just pick it up and probably like, I don't know, start draining the blood out of it to get it ready. She probably has a brush or something.
Mhm.
Somewhere. She's gonna start getting all of that ready.
Okay. Along those lines, I'd also like to talk with and like train with the soldiers and stuff that are with us. Because I guess that's the thing that one of those characters, Velios, you know, I would like to kind of get a feel for like what they're fighting for and what brought them to this place and
Okay.
you know give them blessings of the gods and whatever.
Blessings.
Yeah, just like yeah, fuck yeah, Mars. But you know, in like ancient Roman.
So fuck yeah, Mars.
Yeah.
That's how they all talk.
Yeah.
So Lydia is probably the most battle ready of them all. You know, she has the short brown hair, brown eyes, tan skin, well muscled. She has armor, but it doesn't fit her exactly right. Most likely handed down by her family, which is people are kind of used to that sort of thing. So they're a little ill at ease. This is kind of a point in time where knowing what exactly is right is difficult. The king hasn't given much of a vote of confidence in the way he's been dealing, and the latest actions against Alba Longa have made people very concerned about the future of Rome. There has also been more what they call Versipellis attacks, and some even think that these creatures might be hidden among the Roman people. So they're kind of terrified about that. And one or two of them bring up what happened to the ancient Gens Verone family. Just recently, just a whole villa annihilated and ripped apart in a single night, and it's just this very scary time where they hope this works out, but who knows?
You have to have the faith, sister, otherwise everything we do, this all will have no purpose. Steel your heart, remove doubt, and progress forward. We need everybody to be on their guard and to be prepared. This is too important not to.
Okay, excellent. Do you have anything in Cancer, or
So I have the will of the first king, and it says my voice is inspirational and
Ooh.
comforting for those who listen to me. I get an AP in Libra, Aquarius, or Virgo for each character epic. I don't understand what that means.
Yeah, just all the pretty much attributes are represented by a zodiac.
Yes, that I understand, but I don't know what each of them do.
Oh yeah, which one are they again?
Okay, so it says you gain an AP in Libra, Aquarius, or Virgo for each character.
All right,
epic.
Libra is oratory and wit. What was
Okay.
the second one?
Aquarius.
Aquarius is encyclopedic knowledge and theoretical knowledge.
Okay.
And what was the final one?
Virgo.
Virgo is knowledge and relationship with the gods.
Yeah. And then which one did you say you wanted?
Well, I wanted to see if you had cancer.
I do not.
Okay. I will. Do you have anything in Libra? Libra?
Libra is which one?
Oratory and wit.
Yeah, but is what? Because this sheet has like the actual symbol signs on it.
Symbols.
Yeah, and I'm not an astrology person. I know my sign. I know Cancer's a crab. Which one is Libra?
The astrological sign of Libra. Let's see.
I know Miss Cleo is always like, "You're a Libra, aren't you, darling?" But that is the extent of what I know of what it actually is.
Yeah,
I think it's the scales.
yeah,
like
it's
number
the
10.
Oh,
scales.
okay. Yes, I do have a Libra.
Excellent. All right, cool. So you are able to kind of shell up their willpower. So I'm gonna give them a +1 concerning for every ability in res militaris, which is all kind of like the military zodiac symbols for this
Sweet.
journey. And they do appreciate you.
Okay.
Yeah, but they still just like you've seen war, death, and destruction, and you think that Lydia has as well, but the others they've seen violence, but not what it could be and what this could lead to.
I would also be like, hey, you should speak of the names and deeds of those who have fallen, so that way they cannot be forgotten.
We'll do that now then, before we head out. And you see them kind of head over to the kind of the small shrine of Mars that they have set up in the area, and start talking about those who are no longer with us.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum. All right. How about Malia and Ian? What is your characters up to?
I mean, probably at this point, I'm fucking painting doodles on this wolf in blood.
Blood snoot.
The blood suit.
Blood snoot.
Who? Yeah. I unless he instigates any conversation, Tor is very much okay with just going about painting a pupper.
Yep.
That's Doggo.
If
You give
can-
that Doggo a hug.
No,
If
I
you
just
can
covered him in
read-
blood.
He's a good dog.
but
I
also
think
a
that's
person.
very derogatory. If you're
No.
a good pupper,
Yeah.
I am also intelligent. Good boy.
Who found me a squirrel?
Fuck.
I will tell you, Tora, I don't trust Lydia.
Why?
I wish I knew, but I seem to be haunted by dreams or visions of nothing short of reckoning. Perhaps we might be strong, but I'm not certain we're stronger than what's ahead of us.
Yeah, she'll take a moment and contemplate what you're thinking or what you're saying. Well, together we're stronger, and through Mars's grace, we'll do anything to the best of our ability. But we need to be able to put in the effort that's needed now. You can't just let these doubts take over. There's a job to be done, and we're going to do it. There's no issue with worrying about it, though. But you just need to be prepared. As she
Sound-
paints doodles on you.
Sweet.
Blood doodles.
There's
Yep.
just like a dick under your back leg. It's
No,
it's,
thank
it's,
you.
It's,
Rude.
it's ancient.
Well,
It's a
I'm
ritual.
ready to head over to the perimeter of the Mars shrine that you were talking about.
All right.
I'll probably walk with you then if we're all meeting up around the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably nighttime about now, or at least the sun has drifted over the horizon. You see candles and torches out. People kind of looking out at this statue of Mars, whispering prayers. The sense of it, because you guys are pretty animalistic. The greatest thing you feel right now is fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Like, is this a personal thing, or is this like this is radiating off of where we are?
It's something you're kind of feeling from each person.
So I guess I just look at Tora with like, my lady, what is your command?
Ugh. I always play characters that are better at this than I am, so I have to pretend I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Fuck, I guess we just go.
So again though, our objective here, so we're still on the road to the, like, we're still about to do the march, or this is like...
People are preparing in the morning. Everyone
Okay.
will get their robes and their cloaks and everything and make the march
Okay.
to the Mars temple.
Then I guess I would like to try to do some sort of rousing thing to like get rid of some of that fear and doubt. And just, tell I don't know, not a story, but like give some inspiration or whatever. And just be like, each of you standing before me are citizens of Rome. And above all things, we are, Rome is the spirit that will endure. Rome has always, Rome is the ideal. This is what we live for. This is what we die for. We have inside us the blood of the first kings, and from that blood, it will make us stronger. This is not the time to give in to your doubts, to give in to your fears. We are going forth by the will of the gods to revere and worship them, and by their blessing we will be given strength. We need you to believe in this, to support this. Rome needs this of you. So give us everything, because Rome has given you so much.
Yeah, and you see people like, yeah. And this like little child, this little boy comes up and like gives you a hug. It's like, you're gonna protect us, right?
Yes. She just looks very uncomfortable suddenly. My child, yours is the strongest job, or the hardest job, as you hold the will of the future. On your shoulders, the future generations will be led. Carry our deeds of valor and bravery.
I will. And he like pulls out this little dagger. Yeah.
Oh.
He accidentally stabs you in the kneecap.
Thanks. You get him, Tyke.
I think Tor would also like to do like a blessing with everyone. If everyone wanted to go pray, she can like either offer something to the gods. You can just to have everyone hopefully have the blessing of Mars or any other god.
What's Lydia doing right now?
Lydia's kind of she's with the group as a whole, but more so with the people that Helena had spoken to earlier on the edge of the this small shrine out in the darker area. They're watching, they're participating, but they're kind of that edge you have right before a battle. They kind of
Yep.
have that, very focused on what's about to happen instead of the present.
All right, and what do we know about this? About Versipellis?
Versipellis, so that is the name given by the Romans and other people concerning anyone who kind of looks like a werewolf or the bestial creatures that come out from the forest. It includes you guys, but unbeknownst to them, you guys are the good guys.
This
Okay.
is kind of like a
So-
Forsaken sort of thing.
Yeah, in a way.
Okay, so where I have an ability, my Lupercal gift is blood perception, meaning I can feel the presence of Remus in a restricted area with certainty, and 2, I can tell if a human being is infected with Versipellis. So that would mean I would know like off the bat about Helena and Tora.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else
Um,
that
Yeah, beyond like the ones that you know of, because you guys are all familiar with all the other Romulans. You do not feel any presence of any Remans or anyone who is infected by. Because if a mortal is bitten by a Reman, they contract a disease that will either turn them into a monstrous creature or die a horrific death.
Okay.
But none of them ping us that.
Okay, good. And fortunately, I would have an innate ability to sense that. Maybe I haven't even tested it out though yet, so I'm not sure how much I would know that. But okay, I'm gonna approach Lydia.
All right, she stands
What
at
is-
the edge, just kind of gazing into the fire.
What does she look like?
She has short brown hair, a pretty muscular build with a kind of stretched out armor, brown eyes. She's wearing a frown of sorts right now.
How do you feel about that speech, Lydia?
Wait. All right, wait, you're in your wolf form.
Yep.
Wait, hold on. So you're just talking to because she's a normie. She's a normal person.
She was.
I don't even think she can understand you, actually.
You're just
I
like
don't.
Not at all.
ruff, ruff, ruff.
Ah.
You gently bark at her.
Yeah. She kind of looks down at
Yeah.
you. I feel like you're like, I'm not being taken seriously. And she just kind of looks down at you like,
She sees the dick edge on your forehead.
This is me forgetting. I don't know how to talk to normies.
Fucking normies.
Fine, then I'll just sit down next to her. She'll know I'm here.
yeah, she gingerly pats you on the head.
She lifts up her head and realizes there's dried blood on her head.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like caked in dark. I'll just keep an eye on her.
All right. You guys doing anything else before the morrow?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Tora.
Same.
Cool. I probably just finished doing a blessing on people
Mhm.
to help them feel more at ease, even though I'm not as good as talking to people as Helena. I'm just like, God.
All right. So if you want, okay, you have telepathy. You can read minds to an extent, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Okay.
Yeah, and you like other Romulans and Remans can understand you.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. I also is there anything? Because if anyone's paying attention to me, especially during like a blessing or something, do I feel like I know surface thoughts of people as one of my Lupercal gifts. Like, is there anything
Alright.
weird that pops out, or are they just?
Nothing weird. A lot of them are thinking about the speech provided by Helena. It's kind of like holding on.
Cool.
I'm a level 8 skeptic right now. Total
I don't know
party
what that
killer.
means.
It's a good thing I can't talk. Um, if
You were like everybody is just like, is that wolf side-eye people? Like, is that a thing that wolf do?
Why the fuck is that wolf so salty? God
Of
I
damn.
know,
spirit,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like a little woke. I don't know how to describe just that.
I like it. It's good.
All right. Well, if Helena, if you're near, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna watch.
I mean, you can say, as long as you're paying attention to me, I can read your surface thoughts.
Okay. Well, then my service thought is, I wonder how many families had the morale and the spirit that we did now, only to get wiped out mysteriously overnight.
It's fucking edgy, bro.
Wow.
Why is this
Yeah.
pupper so like deep all the time? Hashtag woke wolf.
That's pretty
Except
much
for me,
what
guys.
all dogs think about every day. Just don't know.
Yeah.
And then
Just like, what the? Yeah. Just nihilism, squirrel.
which is what happened. She'll probably turn around, just gonna give you a cold look. A little bit. It's like, I don't care for your pessimism at the moment. I understand that this is a hard time for a lot of people, but thoughts like those is what's gonna make it worse for everybody. And I don't need you perpetuating it for, even though only a few of us know, but we
Yeah.
don't need this in our lives, you fucking little piece of shit. Respectfully.
Well.
Yeah.
Because I respect you.
So he
Kind of.
just discovered that you can read minds.
Are you saying that out loud?
So
Oh, not in front of everybody, but as soon as we move away.
But yeah, but like the three, like I can hear that, right?
can hear
Like,
that.
Okay. So Helena would put a hand like gently on your shoulder and just, yeah.
Hi.
guys,
This is a tense time for all of us. We do not know what our brother has been through. We can't know. But and then she'd look at Epsy, yeah, and just be like, listen, if you allow yourself to be defeated before even engaging with the enemy's swords, you have given them a victory that they have not earned.
You little shit.
damn. I'm being attacked.
And the battle hasn't even started.
All right.
Yeah, Wolf
can't have
goes
a
into
thought.
corner, listens to fucking Linkin Park, just crawling.
Say anything. I just thought one. Oh my god. All right.
He's just like, stupid human.
Bullshit, everyone's gonna fucking die. Boo.
God, what time of day is it?
It's night.
Night.
I'm gonna sleep.
Aw.
Woke pupper's
No.
going home.
Yeah.
Well, we're not gonna deal with this bullshit.
Yeah. Tomorrow we'll need our strength. Is there anything else that you need, my lady?
Not at the moment, no. And then she'll be like, cool. Yeet.
I am here to serve you.
I'm
Cool.
asleep. I am so asleep.
I am so asleep.
Oh my god.
But no, like all seriousness, she'll like Fred's like, we need to get our strength up. It's a long journey. And yeah, yeet.
That's it for me, guys. For the night.
I will keep watch over her till she falls asleep. Aw.
Aww.
Yo, Helena, it's weird. Actually, she's fine with it. She's
Yeah.
used to you.
All right. So early in the morning, the forum is crowded with young Romans surrounded by the typical red capes. The sun cannot be seen. It is covered by gloomy clouds in the air, and there is like this strong humidity. The shouting and the songs kind of dominate everything. You see food vendors in small pews trying to do business and earn a few pounds of salt. The representatives of the Djinns are scattered around the forum, giving courage and confidence to the little children, and there are little children on this march. The lambs are entrusted to the children, and then distributed among the column, trying to bring order to the ranks of the young. Among them is a older woman, one that you recognize as part of the family. Old Nevia. She, along with Calpurnia, were the ones who survived, the only ones who survived that attack. And Nevia's kind of slunched over with a stick and moving forward, while Calpurnia just kind of looks down at the ground. The Salis begin their dances and songs, accompanied by the double flutes and harpsichords of the musicians. Incense fumes rise into the air, and you see Martialis begin his sacred oratory, and the march begins by exiting the Mugonia Gate. Lydia and her crew, really your crew, approach, each one armed with various items, from like a pitchfork to a sword, and someone has a bat. Like that.
So like maybe a thing of, you know, are we walking past like a lineup of people, or are they coming at us?
We'll say you guys are just like outside the entrance of the gate, like heading out. So you see the procession of the crowd move past you, as you guys wait for the kind of rear guard is where you guys will be, and
Okay.
your people are just kind of right behind you, gathering.
Okay. So like, cause basically as people are gathering, like, Helena would be quietly moving among them, like, you know, if it's the case of we are grabbing whatever we have to fight with, like, it's literally like she'd be correcting posture and
Yeah.
like
You're like
just like-
pitchfork goes around and towards the enemy.
yeah,
and-
stick them with the pointy end.
Yeah.
You know, because her thing is just
Yeah.
like be strong.
You're like, Fred, how'd you get a gun? What the hell is that?
Where'd you get a grenade? Those aren't even invented yet. But yeah, you know, just again continuing with like bolstering the allies and like making sure they at least have a first strike idea so they don't immediately die.
Yeah. And as you guys watch, you know, you see the excitement and slight shyness of the Roman children as they look around at this procession that this is the first time they've been a part of. You see the little kid, little boy who hugged you earlier, Helena, kind of guiding this little lamb as it kind of pulls him around every now and then. And he looks at you and waves and like totally drops the rope and has to like run to grab the rope
Oh, it's so cute.
How old is Calpurnia?
again. Calpurnia, she is about 14. She looks a young woman.
And traveling with Nivea for sure.
Yeah, Nevia looks ancient, like
and we're heading out of the gate.
30.
Any second now, just Yeah.
Any second.
yeah. Capernia is having a midlife crisis. 14. Okay. Cool. And we're heading out of the gate now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, into the woods, the forest, the unsafe place.
Okay. So at first, I'll be with Tora and Helena. Helena, and then I'll head over to Nivea and Capernia later on. You know, as the gate, once the gate is out of sight. But
All right, what do you say to him?
Orc.
I don't say anything to them. But if you're freaking reading my mind again,
Crawling in
Uh,
my sleep. Yeah, they just continue on. I mean, it's obvious it's a hard journey for Nevia, and Capernia looks like she's seen shit. She kind of has like this faraway gaze.
man, and they don't have Versipellis, right?
Well,
I would be able to tell.
they are Romulans.
Which means
They are like you.
okay, good. So that means they are infected with Versipellis, right?
Yeah, they're like, you guys aren't technically infected by it. You guys like are blessed by the gods.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We're-
It's not an
Probably-
infection. We're blessed.
That's what. Yeah, I guess it's the translation in the character sheet, but it literally says, "Can tell if a human being is infected with Versipellis."
Yeah, that's when a Reman bites a human.
Oh,
They
okay.
either turn
Yeah.
into monsters or they die horrifically. So you would be able to
Alright.
be like, hey, you're either gonna turn into a monster or die horrifically.
Cool.
Yeah.
Neat. Okay, so would I be able to talk to them then?
Kind of like secretly, because obviously, no one wants to see that, but
Right.
You
well,
just
I
sit down
don't.
next to them looking like you want pets. And then
Yes.
yeah. And
That's
then
what
on
I'm
the
gonna
Real
do.
DL,
crusty and gross.
yeah,
Yep.
on the DL then it's hey.
I'm not
Studied.
even talking to them. Yeah, I'm just gonna follow them and see if they talk to one another while I'm nearby, or see if they're smarter than that.
Yeah, Navia every now and then will kind of check up on Calpurnia. And she's like this small girl with dark wavy hair with these big green eyes. They look somewhat red. But she just kind of nods or shakes her head whenever she responds to Nevia.
Okay. Well, that's me.
So, as you guys head out, the passage from the slopes of the Palatine Hill pretty much passes peacefully. People are anxious, but it's nice so far. The jubilation has died down a little bit, but people are still excited for the potential of going to the Mars temple and performing the sacrifices and being a part of this thing with the king in Rome. You guys see behind you Rome clearly being left behind. And people get more tense as the road becomes less hard, and as you guys enter in the gloomy swamp of the Velabrum. The shadows kind of elongate, and every now and then you hear a howl in the distance. Every branch and tree, as you guys are looking out, almost seems to hide an enemy. But when you look over it, there's nothing there.
Mm.
Cool.
Okay, I'm gonna fall back to Tora. And Helena.
Yeah, I think Tora's just walking in the back the whole time, just keeping an eye on everything.
Mm-hmm.
She's in
Oh, cool,
traveling
though.
clothes now. That's cool.
Back.
Yeah, we're in the back boy.
I'm also in traveling clothes. Okay. I'll say, I used to know how to work a sling like a champion, and now I can't even wear armor.
I would obviously at least have somewhat like of a knowledge that he can't turn back into a human form,
Mm-hmm.
but I know why.
The phase of the moon.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
kind of the particular
birth.
blessing he's received.
She'll
Like-
have. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, because like my character is the opposite, where I can't turn into a wolf.
Can't relate.
Turn it, yeah.
Don't worry about it. Oh, is there anyone on horseback or anything around here? Cool. That makes my life easier.
I am just fine for that shit.
But she will like to Epsy, just be like, when did you turn? When were you blessed?
I hardly track those things. I have little use for the past anyway, but it must have been longer than 4 months.
Cool.
What
And-
what happened to you that your spirits are so dark?
Well, let's see. I woke up a wolf, and I never turned back into who I was, and it seems slowly my past is dissolved. But the more I hear of the stories of disappearances and agents in the night taking out families, the less I feel we really belong in this land. But I'm willing to be proven wrong.
Anything, we are wrong.
Well, that might be true, but it's hard to ignore the fact that, well, look around. This is much of what Rome is. It's a swamp.
Trying to figure out what the fuck Tora would say. Fuck.
So, the march has been rather quiet.
Yep.
Beasts that reign at night in these places are holed up in the darkness of their infernal dens. And if the gods want, they'll remain there as long as the sun stands in the sky. The noise of the packed company on the move, on the other hand, must have driven the most common predators away. The last piece of road winds down between rows of maritime pines and birches. A battered bridge allows the crossing of a treacherous and marshy stream. Rocky, moss-covered spurs rise from the ground here and there, making the ground uneven. Right behind one of these crests of earth and rock, you see the destination finally appearing. The ancient temple dedicated to Mars. Circular, of wood and hardened mud. Behind the colonnades surrounding the central body of the temple, one can see the open doors. Statuettes of various kinds are carved on the top of the temple and emerge from the ground for a short range around the structure. High reed beds unravel on the sides of the temple, spreading all around the Goat's Marsh. The muddy ground all around makes the passage slippery. Suddenly, you realize that a quiet, unnatural silence has fallen around the pond. The moans of the exhausted children, the bleating of the lambs, and the sound of footsteps on the damp ground have not made you notice it immediately. But the sounds of the forest that have accompanied you so far, the croaking of the frogs, the chirping of the birds, rustling of foliage, the scampering of wild animals have vanished. Everything's quiet. You look at each other and understand that something is wrong. Long moments of unbearable quiet anticipate the eruption of a howl. Arr! The march stops instantly, raising a chorus of sighs of terror, which increases when a second, a third, a fourth is added to the first animal noise. A multitude of howls alert the forest of the battle that is about to take place on its sacred ground. A chorus of existential despair. The children of morning, the Remus, were waiting for you. From the reeds, their bright silver eyes stare at you, cold and cruel. What do you do?
So
I'm gonna move to the front of this marching line. It sounds like it was in the back in the beginning, right?
Was it all around us or just the front?
All around, and you hear old Navia, like, as the people are running towards the temple, the able-bodied men and women standing kind of between the Remuses and the temple. You hear old Navia say, "Desperate curs, foolish every one of you, they'll destroy you to the last one of you." This little old lady.
Oh,
Do you have to be in your lupus form in order to howl?
No.
Alright. Can we tell how far out how far away like these packs are around us?
Yes, you can.
we-
So it sounds to be about 14 of these creatures surrounding you guys. Each one about 5 meters away from each other. You see Navia grab all the children and start ushering them into the temple.
Okay. And the moon is visible right now, correct?
It is.
Cool. I would let out a howl, letting people because if I notice how many there are, or at least enough around the area, I want all of the other Ramilai to know what's going on.
All right. You give out a howl.
I'm actually gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Tor. That way I can speak to her.
Cool. And she's probably also directing all the people in the back with us to stay closer to the groups of people and children and make sure that they can get inside and fortify that area.
I'll say children in the temple, so we can have any men with pikes guard the entrance.
Cool. She'll literally just say out loud noted to you, as then she directs people.
Yeah.
Not even caring that it's kind of weird that she just said noted to a fucking dog, but it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, people are more concerned with the shit happening around. Yeah, you see them start running towards you guys.
All right.
Get my dual katanas out.
I have a question about how this works. So changing into hybrid form. It says points move, but I don't know how. It's not making much sense
I'll
to
have
me.
the same question about my Lucarian form.
All right. So whenever you move points, you're able to move points from a couple of other zodiac symbols. It should say on there to other sets of zodiacs.
Okay. But if it's it says because I'm Lupus Rex because I'm a fancy boy.
Mm-hmm.
It doubles in one of mine, so I'd have And then would it just like move over, or would these points that I have in other ones, do I have to distribute them out?
It sounds like you just move over. So what's the wording of that power?
Okay. You can change into the hybrid form between man and wolf. You have points in Leo, Taurus, or Aries. Your value doubles, which only have one in Aries. And all the points in the other attitudes must be redistributed in the 3 above without doubling the value.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, that makes more sense now that I actually read it out right.
Yeah. And so to let you know, the DC is 50.
What?
The DC is 50.
Okay.
Or
Well, how far do I need to? Yeah, okay. If I'm changing into my Lucarian form, which is a larger, more majestic form of wolf,
Ooh.
am I better off creating distance between me and this legion because I don't want them to see me?
You're probably, I mean, between the reeds and the darkness, you're fine in terms of. Also, this is a pretty dire situation. If you remember, you guys had about 15 Romulans and a few other like normal people, but you at least there's 13 of these like Remuses, as you see, starting to approach you, and much like you, they are terrifying, wolf-like. But they have a better understanding of the way the wolfen like abilities work. So you'll, as one like reaches out to claw one, their fist suddenly turns into like this large wolfen claw, and when they try to bite someone, their face elongates as they smash against their skull. And then the other two, who look even more terrifying, they are about 4 times the size of the biggest person you have. And whoever they touch just gets obliterated. These are the things you're up against, so I would not. Yeah.
And they're just coming in from all directions, heading towards us. Okay, and I'm near Tora right now.
And Helena, unless Helena ran off to go lead some people, I'm not sure.
No, yeah, I'm hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
I just literally can't change into a wolf, so I'm like,
Right.
swords!
And you see one of these creatures like reach up to the sky and grab these lightning bolts from the like kind of lash out from the cloudy sky, and it rips into people.
Oh, God.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell Tora real quick. Make sure Lydia guards the gate, and good luck. And I'm gonna go big boy wolf form and
Same with
the lightning
same
guy
with
as fast as I can.
Okay.
So she has a little more control of how she can go. She literally is going to be ripping into this huge hybrid form creature as she runs with Epsy. She's like, fucking, we're gonna get rid of that now.
Cool.
Okay, so she. Oh wait. So, but there's two of the big ones, right? 2 of these bigger ones.
Yep.
We're gonna do pack tactics to take one down at a time.
Okay,
Yeah.
so in that
So,
case,
can I fight with Mitchell, or
Yeah.
is I lower than I don't know how this works.
So, combat, much like everything else, is a very narrative experience.
Okay.
The DC is 50.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have to figure out how you're using your Zodiac points, the way you are approaching this combat to control the narrative and try to get to meet that DC.
So now per dot in Zodiac we get a dice?
No, you get a point.
Okay.
So there's usually no rolling unless you cannot think of any way you can use a Zodiac to help.
Okay.
So you can be like, hey, I'm using my speed and agility to kind of bounce around and slash at them. So you would add your Pisces, and you would add your Leo, which is hand-to-hand combat. So you're doing that. So you add those 2 points. And since you guys are together, you guys each can add all your Zodiacs together to try to reach that 50. If you cannot conceive of a way to reach that 50, then you can roll the d12s, and that will temporarily add to your Zodiac points.
So, and then
Okay.
what are practice points?
Practice points. Practice points you can use on a 1-for-1 basis to give you an additional dice when you're rolling.
Okay.
Or you can spend 11 of these points to just give you a +1 on a specific zodiac.
Well, so like I have superior strength,
Mm-hmm.
which gives me 2 points in Taurus right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says that the second costs 2 practice points, and the third is 4, and then the fourth is whatever if I want to keep using it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, how many do we get, and like how often do they refresh?
So they refreshed pretty much every time you rest, and it should say how much power points each character has.
Okay, let me see.
know
Okay.
if it doesn't.
It should. I thought I saw on my sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be on the
yes,
first
12.
page of it.
Okay. So you said for combat we're looking at, so Taurus is strength.
Yeah, you guys pretty much, depending on how you're going about this, you guys let me know what zodiacs you guys want to use, or
Okay.
more importantly, like explain how you want to fight it, and I'll let you know what zodiacs encompass that style, and then after that you can either change your approach by adding different zodiacs into it, or roll.
I have a plan, by the way, Tora.
What?
I have a plan for our side of it.
Okay, cool.
What's your plan?
All right, so I'm going to tell you as we to just charge straight at the one who was fucking with the lightning.
Okay.
Just charge straight, and then what I'm going to do is, because we're getting closed in, right? If I'm picturing that correctly,
Mhm.
I'm going to act as though I'm charging one like a 45-degree angle away
Okay.
from the one you're charging, and the last second I'm going to jump out of the way as a way to, like, as if I'm passing, and then I'm going to pass to get out of the circle closing in so I can flank the big guy so we can actually just get him from both sides.
Excellent.
Cool.
I like that. So from
sounds like
that, from that approach, I'll add Pisces as well as Scorpio, which is the hidden blade, like the deceitful way of approach.
Okay, for AP I have Pisces 2 but no Scorpio.
All right.
But you're only telling her?
Yes, do what you gotta do. I mean, there's another big guy.
Okay. Hi.
There's a
I'm here, shock.
Quickly, bite her.
I could see you on the... Oh wait, Brian, can you get me more water? Thank you.
I want more water too, please. Oh,
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Okay.
Or if you're just saying this out loud, if Helena's just running with us as well, then.
Well, yeah. I mean, I
you
was.
might need to get the other side of the. I'm not gonna game. What would you do in that situation if we theoretically just?
I
ran off?
mean, again, I'm like protecting Tora, so like.
As I literally Hulk the fuck out.
Yeah.
you might-
I don't care.
I wonder if you would be fixated then on the whichever ones would be adjacent to her as she heads towards the perimeter that's closing in. You know what I mean?
I guess. I don't know.
At this point, Tora is not as much listening because she's letting this primal rage
Mhm.
take over right now.
All right. Well, let me describe what your character's doing.
Yeah, do it.
Oh fuck. As FC says this and starts to run, yeah. All right, I'm rethinking how this transformation is gonna actually look. So she's just gonna run normally alongside. As you can visibly see, like her clothes ripping as you're going, and she's taking her lupine form, and like she's no longer super listening. She just heard you should attack her from the front. That's what I'm gonna do. She gets really big too. She'd probably do the whole running on all fours things for a moment as she goes for the one guy.
All right. So that sounds like Leo.
I have a lot of that right now.
Leo and Taurus.
I have a lot of those right now.
All right. What do you have?
My Leo's 4 right now,
All right. And your
and my
Taurus?
Taurus is 3.
All right. All right, Helena. How are you approaching this?
I guess, like, yeah, I don't know.
You have people to command. You could do that, or you could fight yourself, or pretty much it's all in your will.
Yeah, I don't know. So, the people are, like, how close, are the ones that are attacking people, or are they attacking from range?
Everyone is melee. All these creatures are kind of, if they're fighting, they're right up in front.
Okay, yeah, so I guess I would, you know, tell, the, tell our dudes to cover the, cover the people, you know, the civilians trying to get into cover, keep Calpurnia and Nivea alive at all costs, and I would try to, I guess, you know, also support them, by covering, again, like making sure Calpurnia and Nivea, like, if anything, I'll attack whatever's going to attack them.
Okay, excellent. All right, so I'm going to use Sagittarius, which is moving around using movement for advantage.
Okay.
Cancer, which is strategy. So what do you
Okay.
have on those two?
Nothing.
Oh, no.
Well, wait a second. Yeah, no.
All right, do you have another approach we can use?
Yeah, that's weird, cause it says that, you know, a support NPC will be able to sacrifice his life inspired by the Fox deeds, doubling his aptitude scores for the scene. The player will have to tell about his death later, but I
All
don't
right,
know.
I mean, if you want, you can use that on Lydia.
No. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I guess I don't know. I'll just like hit whatever's closest to me and try to split it in half because I have fucking Taurus up the ass and Aries.
All right, so Taurus and Aries, what do you got for those two?
I have 4 for Taurus and 2 for Aries.
All right, so I'm going to calculate this up real quick. We got a 2 in Pisces, plus 4 from Leo 6. That's a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Total, you guys have a 15.
Close,
With,
so close.
with your people, though, you got another 16... 17, 18, 19, 20, plus your 15, right, is what I said?
Yeah.
Oh, right, so 35? If I math right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so right now you have 35. The DC is 50. For every point that you guys fail in your endeavor, that's how close to the gates of hell you get to. Do you guys have any other additional approaches or additional part of the narratives to help out, or did you
Yeah.
want to roll?
I will spend some of my practice points to give myself some more Taurus.
All right.
Same.
All right. Remember, it's 11 points if you want to force it into one.
Well, no, because again, with superior strength.
Oh yeah. If you have that, you're good.
I have that as well.
Yeah. Fancy.
I know, right?
Practice points.
I think at least with Epstein and I's strategy, he's being like a lot more agile than Tora is. So she would take lead until we beat one of these fucking wolves down, each one, and she would just watch for what he's doing, and then also fucking, you know, just ripping everything violently apart. It's literally all she's doing.
Yeah. So and my strategy was to charge at the 45 degree, charge one of them, but mid jump, I'm gonna change to that Luparian form, which is just like 8 times. I don't know, just a lot bigger. And that'll give me like a weight advantage on that guy, which he would not have been expecting. And then that's my chance to pull around into a flank. I do have Mars Manipulation, which says you can upgrade the mutation of one of your companions by giving her the possibility of obtaining 2 action points, or AP.
Ooh, nice.
Or stands for to be distributed in the zodiac symbols allowed to her form. So I don't know if that's useful in this situation, but
It sounds like it. It sounds like they can add some more stuff to their.
yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
It says also you give her the possibility to roll 10 dice instead of sticks on Corporeum and Res Militaris attitude rolls.
Okay. All right.
Spicy.
Super spicy. All right. So let me know how many points you guys increase concerning the approaches that we talked about.
Oh, wait. My thing also says that my will
Mhm.
creates discomfort in all Remos, and every attitude test you have to face involving them will be lowered by 1.
Excellent. All right. So the DC will go from we'll say that affects each one, and there are
50? No, 15.
yeah. Well, there are 13 Remuses in particular.
Yeah. So
drop that by 13.
yeah. So basically, she's doing like fucking Maximus bullshit. And like, yes, tonight we dine in hell.
We dine in hell.
So it also gives, if I am using the thing for humans, then I get a point in Libra, Aquarius, or Virgo. So I don't know what the fuck would apply there.
Yeah, Virgo. That's all kind of like knowledges.
Which is weird.
Yeah, you're a knowledge
Like,
person.
I feel like this doesn't make sense for what is described versus mechanically what it does. Because it's like, you are inspiring people and everything like that, but like, it sounds like the stats that they give you for it are just like knowledge and like all of the stuff
Well-
that is not about being vocal
Well,
and whatever.
Libra is oratory and wit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess Libra then?
Yeah.
So if I get Libra, then I get 2 more.
Okay. All right. So we'll add that to your approach. Libra, dos, and actually, can you say your power concerning the Remuses again?
It is a part of the will of the first king. It is the last paragraph.
Okay. Where you at, Helena? Oh, there you at. The will.
I can send it to you if you.
No, I have it.
Okay.
Okay, actually, so that it's not per, it's just 1. So I'll lower
Yeah.
it to 49.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I got a +2 from Libra, so that's 37. Who else? What other bonuses did we get?
I ended up getting another +2 from my Taurus from my superior strength thing too.
All right, 39.
And from Mars Manipulation from me,
How much?
it was a 2. Yep.
All
2.
right. And Helena, what Taurus did you improve on?
I spent 6 points, so I would get 4 more. So I have 8 Taurus total.
Okay. Excellent.
And then I have the 2 Libra. And blah 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 blah. Let me make sure there's nothing else. Any of the NPCs that want to sacrifice their lives to take care of this stuff get to double their attitude scores for the scene.
All right. I'll say Lydia will do so. You inspired her.
Yeah.
For the horde. Whee!
Yeah.
All right, excellent. Um, so why don't you guys describe kind of what is happening in this fight? You guys, unfortunately, are 2 away from the goal, so you guys can push your roll if you want. So you would roll the dice, to see if you can get a couple of a little bit added on.
Is there like a certain like how high we have to get on the dice in order for that to like count as a success for that, or is that just total?
Yeah, you roll the dice, and each number corresponds to a different zodiac symbol. So for every number that corresponds, it adds +1 to that zodiac.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That actually makes sense looking at the sheet then. Heckle. And we would we'd add that to the how many dice would we know we'd get to roll?
I believe it is 60-12.
I have 60-12.
Alright.
And it sounds like we're out of options, right?
Yeah, does only all of us get to roll this too?
Yeah, everyone gets to roll it.
Ooh, spicy. You guys, we all good with rolling some dice?
Who rolls dice anymore?
So,
Yeah, it's
Alright.
lame.
how many dice?
6.
6.
Oh, I'm just gonna use the dice roller.
Oh, what do we got? We got
We got 2 11s,
all right. So
a 9, a
Aquarius.
6, a 3, and a 12.
What do
9.
we need?
So every number corresponds to a different zodiac number.
Okay.
So what you guys want, because Pisces is being used by Epsi, so Pisces is 3, and he's also using Scorpio, which is 8. So he wants a 3 or an 8.
I got
I'm
one
just
for-
using Leo and
Oh.
Taurus, right?
We need to roll d12s.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so I got a 3. That's the only relevant number of what I
Excellent.
got.
All right, and
Um,
what'd you get, Leah?
For Mars manipulation, it does also say you give her the possibility to roll 10 dice instead of 6
Ooh, okay.
on Corporeum and Res Militaris attitude rolls. I think
Okay.
I'm using one of the Corporeum ones.
Yeah.
Does that mean I get to roll an extra 4?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
So, since
go ahead.
I'm using Mitchell,
Mm-hmm.
is it Taurus, Aries, and Libra?
Yep.
Okay.
So
Uh,
yeah, you want a 1, a 10, or what's that second one?
2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just using Tauros and Leo. So I just want like 1 and 5s, right?
Correct. Yeah, you guys got it.
Okay.
Uh,
Cool. I rolled 2 5s and 1 1.
I
2 5s. All right. What else you got?
Ooh, Jen just lost power for a sec. But
Oh
it's coming back
no.
on.
At least she's kind of like trapped. All right. Cool. So you guys beat the target number. Let me double check to make sure there are no sneaky sneakies, because I know I have powers too.
How about you don't?
Okay, I guess that's fair.
Yeah. Only
Or
we
you
get to
should
be cool.
describe what you're doing first, because
Oh yeah.
you're making context first.
I have to give
What
my
I'm doing
approach.
first?
Yeah.
Yeah, so as soon as he said charge and started ripping into her fucking violent
Hold on. Let me,
rage.
before we narrate, I have to get the final numbers.
shit.
Let's see.
I would like to note in my Lupus Rex form,
Mhm.
it's literally written down as you turn into a gigantic death machine.
Do you guys have any Aries?
Aries,
Yeah.
what number is that?
Aries is 2.
I have Aries 1,
All right.
I have no Aries.
and in Luparian form it adds 2 Aries, so I would have Aries 3.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
So
Wait, my Aries stat I have 2 actually.
Okay. All right. All
We're
right.
just
Cool.
talking about the dice rolls.
All right. All right. So normally with Remus's, since they're so like sporadic, anyone without any Aries becomes exhausted when fighting them and lose AAP.
Oh.
Okay, cool. Jennifer also has it.
Cool.
Yeah, it doesn't look like I have anything else.
Yay, I'm okay with this.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
All right. So yeah, go ahead and narrate what happens. You guys have beaten the score by 3.
Cool. Yeah, so Tora will run and sprint into a violent, gigantic death machine as she runs, just like ready to, like, she's huge. She's there to like rip limbs off if she can. Like, that's how buff she made herself. So, like, at least with the first attack that Epsi mentioned,
Mhm.
she's just going in for like a big swing, and her other arm's coming up to like grab the guy. And yeah, descriptive.
Okay, so yeah, so I charge. We're a few over. Make a jump. I transform to Luparian form, which is like a Hulk compared to like the small wolf I am, and the pounce just flattens the guy on the ground. But as I try to jump out to go about the flank I was intending, he latches onto me. So instead, I double back and start having just just wrestling on the ground with this guy.
Ooh, nice, nice.
And if it's like if the other like guy had like an upper hand on Epsi, Tora would just pick him up and like throw him back on the ground next to him, like, and start like I keep thinking she's gonna just go and try and rip people's limbs off, like hand to hand stuff too, just whatever in order to put one of them down.
Just destroying them all.
Yeah,
All right.
it's casual. Don't worry about it.
It's super cool. All right.
Helena's off being cool and slicing the fuck out of stuff and ordering people. I don't know.
Like a boss.
Do we just? Okay, yeah. So like, do we lose again too? Is it just Mitch and I
Terrible.
now?
Forget internet. All right. Where did you have me?
Yeah, everyone's back in their place. So, yeah, you guys succeed. I mean, a couple of people, actually a good amount of people have died in the conflict. But you guys are victorious, breathing heavily, a little spot of rain dripping from the sky, blood dripping from your forms, and it is quiet.
The kids coming out of the temple?
No.
No. Okay.
How many of the other Romuli survived?
You are it.
How about the Legionnaires? Nobody?
2.
Fuck.
Lydia alive?
No, she sacrificed herself
Yeah.
for Helena.
Yeah,
Oh.
Helena's like, for Mars!
Lydia ran in, just immediately got ripped in half.
Not before
Oh.
stabbing one of the wolves.
Yeah, Tora's gonna like just take a moment and look at all the carnage that just happened as she starts like come down from her like very primal rage. And
Okay.
what are you gonna say?
Check on the children. I'm going to sweep around and see if anything is left.
She's coming down from being like this Lupin form. She's got like she's in her normal form, but like all her clothes are ripped to shreds. She's like, yeah, I need clothes first. Fuck. But yeah, she'll find something to throw over herself real quick and check on everybody. Except I feel like she'd look even more exhausted than she did before.
Yeah. Yeah, you're able to probably grab a robe from one of the dead, the fallen.
I'll watch as you like start looting the bodies, and I'll mention you might give these weapons to the children. I don't think we're in danger yet.
Fuck. Okay. We'll see where we're at first, and then before we start arming small children.
All right. So you.
I'm gonna run out, just straight
Don't go
out,
too far.
howling, and searching at the same time, pretty loudly, but just kind of openly taunting anybody that might still be out there.
All right.
Like in the open.
Yeah. Tora, as you move towards the temple, you see what looks like a hand peeping out of the doors. It looks like it's been locked from the inside, and the small hand has been broken as if the door was closed on it and smashed. So it's just kind of limping, like.
Fuck. Okay. I do have a question. I know I can't really do it right now because it's still closed. So, which one is that? Fucking Virgo? Not Virgo. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out. It's not convenient that not all of these things are labeled on the sheet.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully they fix that.
I have Virgo, and that looks like to be a healing thing. So I'm the only person that can like divine heal. As soon as like at least let her get dressed before you watch Lamau. She'd want to be able to get an all clear from. Well, she'll get with the people that are still alive, the Legionnaires. Just trying to coordinate them to keep an eye out. I'm waiting for Epsy to give an all clear before we can even like try and get these children out, and I want to heal that little kid's hand.
All right. So are you gonna open the door to get to the little kid?
Yeah. I'll announce that I'm about to open the door, so no one's too freaked out.
Yeah. All right. So you open the. It takes a little prying, as you feel something on the other side, maybe like a door lock, or as it pushes open, and the hand flops down. It's not attached to anything. As you look inside, you see each one of them ripped apart. Jaws are laying on the ground. Blood is oozing from the temple. And in the center is this old lady. Her hand is like elongated in a way that is unnatural. Her fingers around the throat of Calpurnia, kind of holding it up above her as her mouth slowly unhinges and grows wider.
Am I able to change back into fucking my Lupus Rex form?
I believe so.
Before.
I don't think
Okay. As I do that, I'm gonna let out and howl for Epsy to get his ass back here right now. I'm gonna go Lupus Rex again and fucking grab this Remus and try and like get Calpurnia away.
Yep.
Fuck.
All right. So let's see. It sounds like you're doing Leo and Tauros again.
Yes.
So the DC is 25.
Okay. I can't do that by myself. But I'm gonna fucking try.
All right. So we'll say for this instance, you have anything more to give? Right now, you are dealing with a 7.
It's unfortunate about this character. I don't have much to.
So where
give
am
it.
I? I'm not.
You're out in the field.
Yeah,
Seth.
you've heard the howl and you are racing back. But
How many-
actually with this you can add in Pisces, Ian, to assist her as you're kind of running back. And then let me know what else you guys can basically do this as a collective action since he's so fast.
I'm gonna use some
Okay,
of
this
my
temple
point.
only has one opening, correct?
Correct.
It's only the open. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Yep. Well, my Pisces is 2, and I'm gonna.
I'm gonna bump my
I'll
Tauros the
sprint
fuck
that way.
up.
So how much?
With those points. I have 22 of them to play with. Okay, so 2. Okay, the first has no cost, second costs 2, and any further cost twice as much. I'm
Okay.
doing mental math, which I'm bad at.
Yeah, so I'm turning back into my Lucarian form is going to cost 2 practice points.
All right.
Where I'm at 19, that would put me down to 17, but that gives me Aries 3, which is helpful. For now, I'm just sprinting over.
All right.
Galloping through the mud.
4. Is there a cap on how much I can make my Tauros?
No, you can. The only thing you're capped by is the points that you have.
Okay, so I am spending 14 of them,
Mhm.
which is gonna add it's gonna add 8 more.
All right. So you're at a total of 11 for Tauros.
Yes, plus 4 from Leo.
All right.
I know Calpurnia is probably gonna get hurt, so I'm gonna be running out with the tackle probably first, trying to get the other arm away, or Calpurnia's form away from like the mouth and claw region. Like even if I have to fucking shove her, like hopefully not too hard into anything like sharp or bad, but she's probably just gonna hit the floor pretty hard.
All right.
As I'm just trying to wrestle the attention onto myself.
All right, so I have a total of 15 from Tora, and Ian is adding Aries of 3, right?
Yes.
And Pisces of 2.
2. Yep.
Okay, excellent. All right. Did you guys want to push the roll?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
Got 6 of them. 2, 4.
All right. Well, Aries is 1, right? I got a 1.
Aries is 2, Pisces is 3.
Whoops. Okay, so I have a 2 and nothing else relevant.
All right.
So it's does like any of my rolls apply to him,
No.
or is it just for myself?
Yeah, just for-
Okay. Then I have 1 in Leo and 1 in Taurus.
Ooh, nice. All right, excellent. So, you guys are able to succeed, but between you guys are moving 2 steps because you lost by 2 towards Avernus. So the steps are distant. That's where you guys are now. You're fine and healthy. So you're 1 step down first. So you're a few steps. You are wounded and in the midst of pain. You see the dark doors down the line. Your attitude rolls, you're gonna roll with 2 less dice, and you are physically broken, etc. But you are one more. So you guys are at the gates. You fall on your knees to the ground. The taste of blood and dirt invade your mouth, and you feel a cold liquid enveloping you. You feel like you are floating into a deep lake. Most of your senses still work. You can communicate with your companion and try to advise them in the most suitable way. But that is, for the most part, it. But why don't you guys narrate the events that have brought you to this location? I mean, you are able to defeat it. You are able to save Calpurnia, but you guys, in the end, are broken and about gone.
Okay. So as I
Okay.
open the, oh, you wanna go first? Or
So
should I?
so the lady, yeah, no, actually you go first. You do everything, assuming I'm not even gonna be there.
Yeah. Okay. So I open these doors and I expect like should be okay because yeah. After talking to Legionnaires, like just briefly, quickly, just having them assess everything or getting ready. I open the doors and I see the Calpurnia up being held and about to be attacked. When Tora, who's already exhausted, realizes she needs to fucking do this, so she like instantly starts running. She howls for Epsy, pretty sure he's not gonna get there, and it's very okay with making like the final "I'm gonna die" play. At least I can hopefully save Calpurnia. She runs in for the tackle, trying to get Calpurnia as far away as possible. If I don't even know, well, she's Romuli, so she'll just Tora just tells Calpurnia to run, just get out of here, go. So I imagine they're getting into a wrestle right now. Tora, most like they're just ripping into each other. And then Tora probably thinks, "Oh shit, this is the end." When Floofy Boy comes in.
Yep, and just arcing right over you. So I guess I'll retrace. I was tracking prints in the mud to figure out where they maybe came from, like which direction they all came from before they decided to split up to encircle us. Heard the howl, sprinted back, following the tracks backwards, and then I guess I'm gonna see her, Calpurnia. I guess she's leaving. The temple. But I'm hearing violence, so maybe I'm not going to worry about one person running out of a building. I'm going to run straight in and then do a leap pounce over Tora onto the enemy. And just go for a chomp in full Luparian form.
Heckin' chomp. But yeah, I feel like it's going to take a little bit for just both of us to do this. Like, yeah, Tora is taking as many big hits as she can to help, like, make sure Epsy's good, like, so at least he can get away with them. I feel like he'd do the same thing, honestly. So
yeah, how big is this? What does she look like?
Oh, so as you guys are fighting, her like old lady body just kind of rips and twists in these very unnatural ways. Much like a Remus does when she fights. Her limbs just kind of fling out and grow into these large talons that like skewer you and rip out your flesh from bones. Her like tongue lashes out and it feels like a whip.
fuck.
Okay, well, I'm going to use that sort of like biological elasticity of her mutating limbs, and I'm going to jump. When I jump over, I'm going to latch on so that the momentum of the rest of my body still flips over, and then I'm going to use the shifting weight of my body to flip myself back while keeping like a grip so I can flip her body over with whatever piece I can grab onto. Sort of like how I like a crocodile, like spinning, just with one half rotation. Just try to get some sort of crack and like get like a latch on.
Excellent. All right, so like the fight is vicious and bloody. Bits of you just go flying in different places, as well as her. It is, and it's just gross. dire fight, and by the end of it, all three of you are just kind of breathing heavily on the ground. The blood and the body parts all kind of laying where you are, and the Remus's breathing goes like silent, knowing that you've defeated your enemy. But you look at yourselves, and Tora has like this gaping wound in her chest. You can almost see her heart in her rib cage. Epsy is probably missing a few limbs. And like you just feel yourselves, you see the gates to the next place before you, kind of welcoming you in. Tora, I'm gonna leave this to you. You do have the divine ability to heal. You can only heal one person though.
Cool. Like she'll come down from Rex form and kind of crawl her way over to Epsy
Mm-hmm.
and just like lay a hand on the side of his face and look at him and just be like, there needs to be people like us to protect the weaker. And I understand battles like this are lost, but they need something. And then heal him and die.
Yeah.
Because she's like more tender than she's ever been.
Oh,
It's like a gentle, you're good. You're good pupper.
Good pupper. Yeah, and Epsy, you feel better as you see like your limbs regrow and your wounds knit, and your friend Tora on the ground, the light within her eyes dulled.
so everyone's dead except for me and Capernia, maybe.
Yeah, Capernia, and there was three or two individuals who survived the first fight.
Okay, well, I'm going to pace around the inside of the temple for a little bit and sort of sniff around at everything in disbelief, slowly so my crippled front right leg at first starts off as like a total like useless dead member, so slowly becomes a limp and then heals. And then I just look at the 2 or 3 remaining men.
Yeah, you know that Calpurnia is the last remaining Romulan in her line, and you might be the last of yours. But the line shall endure. There are other Romulans out there, surely, but this has come at a great cost. So you guys start heading back, and then the following morning, when the rays of the sun caress your cheeks as you return to Rome, with pride and a little bit of jubilation, a man can be seen yelling that Alba Longa has fallen at sunset, but a sunset that has never been so red. Apparently, the Red March did indeed impress the gods, guaranteeing their favor to the men on the battlefield miles away. The events that link the Red March of Mars to the men who defended it against the insidious intervention of the Versepiles, whatever, during the ambush of the Goat's March, will be remembered and told in the taverns for the days to come. Though not with much rejoicing, as many of the youth did not survive. But as long as the spirit of Romulus inhabits your souls, Rome thanks you, and Rome will never die. That's it.
Oh. All right, guys. Oh man.
I've had 3 characters die in a row this week.
And my how come I'm always the one that's alive last?
I I know. Be sad.
Why am I the survivor every time?
We want you to have survivor's guilt.
I'm just looking for martyrdom. Wow, that's a really cool game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hope you guys liked it. It definitely has a different feel than other tabletop role-playing games. There's a lot of narrative control, especially for the players. So yeah, that was a Red March, which is in a quick start for First Kings, if you want to check it out on their Kickstarter. Other than that, my name is Mitchell, and this has been Penny for a Tale. Why don't you guys give your closing remarks concerning the game as well as yourselves?
Fuck.
I'm Ian. I'm the GM. I do Hell's Rebels on Sunday. That's where you can find me at this Twitch. Other than that, I don't do anything on the internet except sometimes play games like this, and I think this game's really cool.
I had a lot of fun playing this game. My name's Malia. Technically I have a Twitch. I haven't done shit with it yet. More to come. I come here frequently. I also play in Ian's Hell Rebel game on Sunday. And you might be seeing if I start running games here.
You
might
are.
see more.
You
Oh,
are.
Fuck. Damn it.
Yep,
It's happening whether you like it or not.
basically.
Soon.
Soon in a theater near you. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you again Sunday.
See you Sunday.
Bye. Oh wait, yeah, bye.